Oh, this looks so good. Hello everybody, hope you're all well. Welcome back to my channel. Welcome back to a brand new video. As you can see, I am up in the loft today, and that is because I thought it is time that we gave the loft a little bit of a refresh. I thought I would do a bit of a styling video today where I attempt to get the loft looking magazine worthy, ready for summer. So let's go on in and yeah, I'll show you how it's looking now and talk you through my plans. Okay, let's take a seat. I have made myself a coffee and I've had to keep the windows open up here because I'm filming this on what is set to be the hottest day of the year so far, and it's rather warm, so I'm getting some through breeze up here in the loft. Although it's the hottest day, I do have a hot coffee. I like my hot drinks still on hot days, so I'm having a nice coffee in my Harrods mug. So we'll have a quick sip of the coffee and let me talk you through my plans for up here. And Mittens is just coming in to say hello. You might see her in the background there, just peeping in. Oh, she seems to be opening the cupboard. Is there something in there that you would like? So yeah, I thought it would be fun to restyle the loft and make it, the idea is I want to make it brighter for summertime. I want to introduce some more colour up here. As you can see, it is a pretty blank canvas. Aside from the green wall up here, everything's white and kind of beige sofa, white shelving, so we have got a blank canvas to play with. So to begin with, I thought we would get some inspiration from some interior magazines, and I'm going to do that using my Readly app, and big thank you to Readly who are very kindly sponsoring today's video. Let me just record my screen so you can see what I'm looking at. So if you haven't heard of Readly already, it's a fantastic app where with one low monthly fee you get access to over 7,000 magazines and newspapers. So I absolutely love it, especially for interior inspiration like this, because you have an abundance of different magazines and interior ideas within the app. I've just seen we have the new content for you suggestions come in, and we have Your Home magazine. I've also spied the new House Beautiful, which has quite a lot of colour on the front cover. So let's go in and have a little flick through this. Oh my goodness, the colours on this cover. I'm loving the reds, these kind of primary colours that we're seeing come into interiors at the moment. I really like that. Yeah, pale blue and bright red might not be the most obvious of pairings, but if you flick to our shoot on page 19, you'll be asking yourself, why not? Okay, let's go and have a little look-see. Oh gosh, there's some beautiful things in here. That lamp's lovely, isn't it? So yeah, I find one of the best ways to get some interior inspiration is with the interior magazines. I mean, they're just a delight to flick through, aren't they? What's this trending now? The mushrooms. That's cool. Oh, lemons, still a big trend. Lots of lemons for summertime. I like this little spritz, please. That's Urban Outfitters, that's a wall hanging, that's quite cool. I love those glasses too. Okay, I'm quite a fan of the blue and red. Yeah, this looks quite cool, doesn't it? So what I'm thinking for the loft is to introduce some pops of colour like we're seeing here. I'm not in the mood for doing a big paint job with this heat, so I think I'm going to avoid painting the walls today. But maybe in the future, you know, I think something bold like this up here could look really cool. I mean, I would never have thought to put those two colours together like that. That's actually the colour of my shirt, isn't it? This kind of red winey aubergine colour. Okay, beautiful. I love the orange chair and the tulips. Oh, okay, this acrylic table. That looks rather cool. And then we've got some nice like colourful accessories. A lot of these things as well, I screenshot and I pop onto my phone, and then if I go to the car boot sale or the charity shops, I've got some inspiration of the kind of things I want to look out for. So for example, this little trinket dish, or you know, you've got a crystal here, I've picked up those in the past. Or say the glass vase here. Now that in amongst lots of different things at the boot sale might not jump out at you, but when you've seen it styled like this on a couple of books and, you know, with the other pieces, you kind of have something in mind for what to go and look for. This cabinet at the back is similar to the white one that I've got in the living room, so yeah, again, that's something that I could do in the future, maybe spray paint that a red colour. I love all the different candlesticks here, absolutely beautiful. Okay, red and orange, blue, I think that is quite a vibe. I would never have thought to go so bold with the colours as that, I have to say. Now this is more kind of like the tones that the loft is currently, so if I wanted to strip it back, this is the kind of thing that I could get some inspiration with. This is actually for a bathroom, but they've got some beautiful pieces here. I do like this little side table. Where are you from? That's from Cox & Cox. Gosh, that's beautiful, isn't it? Again, the sort of thing that I can get the inspo for. That's the sort of thing that maybe, if I found the right piece in France, I could have a go at kind of giving it that wash. Okay, bright spots. Now we're talking more colour again. I like the fact that often in the magazines as well, you get to look into readers' homes, and there's lots of like individual inspiration. A little stripy mug there, similar to the one that I have. Oh, how to decorate with checks. This is another big trend, and also I really like the stripes as well. I would quite like to incorporate either some check or some stripes. Oh, look at that lamp. That's rather cool, isn't it? With the kind of bobbin base and then the striped lampshade. I like that a lot. Okay, I'm gonna keep going. Yeah, lots of checks, lots of colour. Oh, now I'm gonna look at this and think, do I completely change the colour scheme of the staircase? I'm kidding. I'm really happy with the London stone. And before I go any further, I have a fantastic offer for you. If you want to try out Readly for yourself, scan the QR code on the screen, and that is going to get you 2 months free access. You can also click the link in my description box. Sign up and you'll get the 2 months free access that you can cancel at any time. So make the most of that, because if you want to do some rooms in your home, a bit of restyling and rejigging, and you want some inspiration, you will have access to all of those magazines for free. Just think how many magazines you could read within that 2 month free period. As I say, you can cancel it at any time. So it is an offer not to be missed. Also, if you just fancy having loads of magazines and newspapers to take away with you on holiday, or if you're chilling, if you're off work sometime, if you've got a commute that you like to read on, the great thing with Readly is that you can download the magazines as well, so you can read offline, so you don't have to rely on Wi-Fi or your signal on your phone. It has the search function as well, so it's really handy if you want to search out specific articles. Maybe there's something specific that you're interested in, maybe it's somebody that you're interested in. I've also been able to search out different hobbies and things that I'm trying out, like my camping trip. I found loads of really useful information. So whatever it is, whether you're into different crafts, hobbies, gardening, baking, recipes, food, travel, you name it, there's going to be some really interesting articles and magazines for you to read, as well as keeping up to date with the news, of course. So yeah, do make the most of it. I have actually used the magazines to create a little bit of a mood board, and that was my inspiration for me to hit the shops. And of course, as always, I'm doing this on a budget, so as well as hitting the shops, I've also shopped my own home, and I've pulled together the bits that I think I need to completely restyle the loft. So I'm really excited for this. I thought we'd jump into some in-store footage and have a little browse. You can see how I've kind of taken inspiration from the magazines as I've been searching for pieces that I think might work. And then I will meet you back here and we will get styling the loft. Well, I hope you enjoyed that little browse with me. Let me show you the two main areas that we're going to be working with. The first one being the sofa area. So as you can see, it is all quite stripped back in terms of the colour palette. I have taken out kind of any bits and pieces just so I've got a clean slate to work with. I have some hooks on the wall that have been there from Christmas times where I've like hung like garlands up and things like that. But yeah, I've taken everything off and I'm going to try and figure out a way that I can not peel those off because I think they're going to take the wall with them. But if necessary, I'll get the hairdryer on them to remove those. I want to get some more colour onto the sofa, maybe add some interest onto the sideboard, and we'll do something with the wall. And then over here we have a rather chilled out mittens because it is a hot day today, so the kittens are just sprawled, Pumpkin's over on the other footstool. And yeah, I have these shelves in here, so I have like styled these with bits and pieces, but I'd like to add some colour here for the summertime. So yeah, I'll get most of this taken off and kind of start again, I think. I've had to put the Dreamies up here out the way because somebody was after those in the cupboard this morning, weren't they? She has had a couple. And yeah, that is a mood, Mr. Pumpkin. Just chilling out on the stool. Okay, let's start off with a few of my purchases. So, kicking off with some cushions that I picked up in the charity shops, I thought I would go with a sky blue and a bit of a red theme to begin with and kind of go from there. I really like that idea, so I thought we'd start with the cushions. And I picked these ones up in St Christopher's Hospice. This one was £8.50 and it's this beautiful velvet and it's got the filling in it, so I thought that was quite a good buy. Now this one was rather pricey for a charity shop especially, but it is a very good quality cushion. This was £25 and it's by House of Roya, dry clean only, but it's got this beautiful texture and some really lovely colours, and I just thought the two of those together worked really nicely, and that's kind of like a bit of a base for, you know, what I can do with the rest of the space. I am going to introduce some other colours, but with that in mind, I saw these tea towels from Primark, which I thought were really cool, and these are introducing the kind of summery, sardine-y, the mackerel trend, whatever you want to call that one. So for just, what have we got here? Oh, lobsters as well. Yeah, for £3 you get a pack of 3, and I thought we could definitely do something with this fabric. Obviously it'd be quite nice just to hang these in the kitchen for summertime, just to introduce that kind of look. But up here I'll find a way to use that somehow. There's lots of things you can do with this. You can get some PVA glue or some Mod Podge and just take the fabric and you could glue that to like an old plant pot or an old container and make like a nice planter with that. You could also make a cushion quite easily just by sewing 2 of the tea towels together and then stuffing it, and you'd get quite a nice rectangular shaped cushion. And then you can also use these as wall hangings as well. You know, all you need to do is clip the frame onto it and then you have a wall hanging that's ready to go. Excuse me, I put those there because you've had your share today, Mittens. Oh no you don't. Funny girl. Alright, I'll give you one more and then that's it. I'm gonna have to hide them somewhere else. Where was I? So, oh yeah, in Marks and Spencer's I picked up these roses. These were £6. Now we haven't got colour going on in here, but I always think it's good to break things up, and I wanted to add some plants, and you know, these are safe with the kittens, and you get the ceramic dish. I might switch this up. I actually also picked up, although I think it's going to be a bit small, so maybe I'll put in some faux foliage into this one, but I really love this yellow to tie in with the nice reds and blues, and I liked the ribbed edge on this and the inbuilt saucer, so you can have a little bit of drainage in there, I think, which is quite clever. And this was from Poundland, and from the Pepco range this was only £1.50, so a real bargain with that for a nice splash of yellow. And then I also have here this candle that was a gift from Kate, and I just thought that this blue would tie in really nicely with the kind of summery look, and I think this was a Sainsbury's candle. And then yeah, I've also shopped the home, so I'll be incorporating bits and pieces from around other rooms. I've just collected stuff. It's always a good idea to do that when you're switching things up. And without further ado, I think we should get cracking on our loft summer transformation. Okay, that is the shelves stripped bare. I've now gone back into Readly and used the search function to search out shelf styling articles. I just typed in shelf styling and this one has come up. It says expert view, turn your bookshelf into a style statement by Sophie Robinson. So how to create a shelving display that tells your story. It says here that bookshelf wealth is about transforming your shelves from mere storage into a statement of style and personality. It's not just about having books lined up neatly, it's having a place to showcase your individuality with a curated display of literature, art and personal treasures, making it feel a unique focal point to your home. I'm thinking I will introduce some books as it is some practical storage, but as well as that I want to introduce some trinkets, some things that I've picked up over the years. I think I'm also going to pull out some foliage which I keep over here. Pick these up just when they're on sale, sometimes from like the bargain stores or IKEA. Sometimes I get bits at the boot sale, like these beautiful pink ones. And I've got like some faux plants from Abigail Ahern, some dumpster dive leaves. So there's all kinds in here. So I've just pulled out some colour. I've gone for some reds, which I think will tie in quite nicely, and then some greenery, some dangly bits that may have some use, we'll see. So what I've done is put everything into little piles, kind of categorised bits and pieces. And I'm going to start adding all my bits and bobs to the shelves, starting with some books. I've got a little collection of interior books here, and yeah, talking of the personal touches, we have a couple of dainties books here. I'm placing some on their side as well. I do also have a little collection of cat books, which I'm going to pop up. This is just a box that one of my diptyque candles came in. It's got some handy storage in it, but also I just like the blue, so I'm going to incorporate this. I think on its side would look quite nice. Potentially. I'll keep switching things up, I'm sure. Another storage box here. This one has a cat on it, and also, yeah, handy to pop little bits and pieces in. I'm not sure about keeping bits like this in now. I feel like that might look more suitable elsewhere in the home, so I'm going to leave this one for the time being. I'm going to use this candle to hold these books up. And then I think we need some height, so I'm going to add some artwork. I think I'm actually going to switch the artwork up a little bit. I have this Rise and Shine print here. This is actually by Hermione Chantal here on YouTube, and I love it. I love the text and I love what it says. I'm thinking maybe if we prop this, will that fit? Yeah, let's pop that up there. And then on here, I'm going to grab one of those tea towels. So I've taken this one out, which I think is probably my favourite. I'm going to rip the tags off because I think they might show through. And then I've got one of these magnetic frames. I think this one's probably a tiny bit big, but I'm just working with things that I've already got. Okay, I think I am done. I feel like it's looking, I know it's maximalist and, you know, a bit of everything, but I feel like it's looking a bit too busy. We need some more white space. I feel like there's too much going on here. Yeah, I'm just gonna thin it out a tiny bit. That's better. I've just popped these two up there, which kind of harnesses them, and then tucked these two together. So we've got a bit of kind of space in between everything. And let's just take you through it really quickly. So I've got a couple of books here, a couple of storage books, and then my upcycle. This was actually a jar of Lenore Unstoppables, which I used some air dry clay on to create this vase. Then we have our RTS award for Sort Your Life Out, of course Pumpkin and Mittens in this beautiful frame Luke got me for a birthday. And then the Rise and Shine by Hermione. We have a Primark faux plant. My Thumbs Up London, which I got in Flying Tiger, but which is a David Shrigley. So this is a fabulous artwork. Who knew that you could get that in Flying Tiger, and that's worth a few bob these days. Picked that up, I think it was £15 at the time. And then I've got some lovely books here, my little packaging from Diptyque, a little pot that I got in Monaco. These are Christmas matches, but I liked the red, so I just took the Christmas tag off them and added those. And then I have a nice little cactus, another of the beautiful frames, and then this lovely pot. I think this was a Home Sense. I thought the turquoise tied in really well. And this fern was also a gift from Luke, and it's still going strong, touch wood. And here we have some more books, my cat books, my candle from Kate, just take the label off there. And then I added just some red poppies. I separated those out from my faux foliage to just get some red in there with the little Poundland container. Some boot sale kittens. This is an IKEA limited edition candle holder, my YouTube plaque, and then down here I've added the Fortnum's basket, which adds a nice bit of storage for hiding mess. Great to have these additional storage bits for any messy bits. And then I have my Sort Your Life Out print there. So yeah, I'm quite pleased with that. I think the hanging looks quite cool, and it's something that I can easily swap out, of course. Feels a lot more summery in here. What do we think? Could we see that in a magazine? So now I need to address this area. I'm going to add a little table in here, I think, and we need a cushion. Okay, I've popped the table in, given it a good clean. Of course, when we are making our homes magazine worthy, everything needs to be sparkling. So I've given that a good polish. This table I got in the Selfridges sale years ago. It's a nice colour. It's got a bit of an orange tone to it, so I thought it was quite in keeping. And with the cushions, I wasn't sure about flipping this one. I thought maybe it's a bit busy if I have that side up, although I do love that side. Thought maybe just with the simple checks taking the magazine inspo, but I can of course always flip that around. But I feel like we need something here, and I want to introduce a lamp, and I've got a little DIY. So some of you may remember this dumpster dived lampshade, or, well, it was on the wall, you know, someone was throwing it out, discarding it. It's just plain white, it's got a bit of a sheen to it, but I thought we could take the inspiration that I've seen in all of those magazines of the striped trend and add some stripes to this lampshade. And then I wanted to go for the bobbin trend that we've seen so much of in the magazines as well. And I've got this table to use as the base. This is metal, and it's called a white cocktail table. This was from B&M, and it was just £8. So this will become the base. In order to make the lamp work, I'm going to use some battery operated LED lights that I got from Amazon, which I will link for you. You get 2 in the pack, and you can also screw them in as well. So if you do have an existing lamp with the screw bulb section, you have the little screw in, and then it has a magnet. But you can add this sticky magnetic pad to anything. So yeah, really good for on the table. And then these just recharge. And now for the really satisfying part. Peel off the tape. Look at those lines. There we are. Hello stripes. And this cost me nothing. Oh, this looks so good. Okay, moving round to the sofa area, we have Pumpkin just chilling out here. Gosh, it's warm, isn't it? For the wall behind, I thought we could attempt to hang these baskets just to add some interest, and I've brought back out my trusty hula hoop shelf, which I just thought would be nice with the circular shape of the baskets. Okay, they're up and on. I'm pleased with how they've turned out. I was able to sort of hook them up right in the centre there to hide the like hooks. And then with this one, I've added a couple of little bits and pieces. This little porcelain pot came from my travels, and then I have an empty diptyque candle holder with some IKEA foliage, a nice little orange and tangerine candle. And then this pot was actually from one of my first, I think it was my first ever blogging event, where I went to an event and we painted some little plant pots, and that's how I painted it. I feel like the colours in that are perfect. I've bought these tulips up and flowers, but I'm going to add some more colour to these, I think, and maybe move them, I'm not sure. And then here I have a screw in the wall where I sometimes hang a wreath at Christmas time. And if I don't put something on it, it can be problematic because it makes you think, if you're watching, that you have like a fly on your screen. So many of you have commented that on the past. So I'm going to sort that. And I have this picture frame that I actually dumpster dived, and then taking inspiration from the lemon trend, which I've seen in many magazines as I've been flicking through Readly. The lemon card here actually came from Card Factory, where you can get 10 cards for £1. So this would cost me 10p. Okay, I want to add some interest to the side here. So I'm going to bring these flowers back in, but I've fished out from my trunk some more reds. So I'm going to add these in, which I think will just tie this in a little bit more. It's going to make it a bit more summery. There we go. So yeah, I've got a nice artwork, which I thought would tie in rather nicely. And I'm going to pop the painting just propped up, I think. There. Okay, I think we just need to add some colour. So I've got my cushions and also this throw from John Lewis. This is beautiful because it has the blue running through it. I'm never quite sure with throws whether to go formal or whether to go throw, if you know what I mean. I've seen that you sometimes can pinch it and drape as an option if you want it to look casual, but I feel like, 'cause I want this bold print to show up, I think I might actually drape this. I think I am done. I am really happy with how it is looking in here. This corner over here just fills me with joy now. When I look at that, there's so much colour and interest and so many different things that I love. And then this area over here, still really comfortable. The wall is looking so much better now we've got some things up on it. The unit in the back over there, I just think looks fab. I did reintroduce the stoneware pot. I just think mix and match, why not? You know me, I'm very eclectic. And the colourful cushions, I think, just really make the sofa sing. It's a happy sofa now, happy for summer. So yeah, all of that inspiration from the magazines, I think I have managed to incorporate into the loft space. And I really haven't had to spend much money at all in order to achieve this. So I would really encourage you, if you fancy switching things up in your home, first of all to download Readly and make the most of that brilliant offer. So you'll get the 2 months for free. You can screenshot different articles, make yourself a little mood board, and then hit the shops, hit the charity shops, go to the car boot sale to bring in any additional pieces that you might need just to pull everything together. If you do give one of your spaces a bit of a refresh and you have been inspired, be sure to tag me in any pictures over on Instagram. I would love to see how you get on, and do make sure you're following my Instagram as well, which is Mr. Carrington. I also have my home account, which is Mr. Carrington Home, and over there I'll share lots of other ideas for around the home and for improving your spaces. But yeah, that is it for this one. I'll leave you with some footage of the loft, which I'm so excited to kick back and relax in this evening when it cools down a bit. But for now, I'm off to find some air conditioning to get this video edited for you. But yeah, do give the video a thumbs up if you enjoyed this, if you're feeling inspired. And yeah, leave me a comment to let me know what you think of the space, tag me in any pictures, and do make the most of that fantastic offer with Readly. I'll leave that linked in the description box for you as well. And a big thank you to them again for working with me on today's video. Thank you so much for watching. As always, have a lovely rest of your day or evening, whatever you're up to, and I'll see you soon. Bye.